I got back from the Philippines not too long ago, and of course, food was a big part of that trip. I am Filipino, so of course, Filipino food is my comfort food. Today, I am going to rank all the restaurants that I ate at in Manila. The food scene in Manila right now is hot. It is booming. It reminds me almost of like the early days of Bangkok. A lot of young Filipino chefs who have studied or worked abroad are coming back and gracing us with their presence and their talents. And I am all over it. Now let's get started with the list and let's start from the bottom. In the last place is Mamu. I know this place is very popular, but I just really found it a bit meh. People rave about their steak and their pasta. I have tried that pasta. It is really nice. In fact, I actually make that here at home. And you know what? This is actually my second try of Mamu. I really wanted to give it a chance because the first time I went there, it was in their Surrender store. They have a few now. This one that we went to is also in BGC, but in the Uptown area. The first time I went there, it was my dad's funeral. So it probably didn't put me and my family in a very good place to be appreciating good food. But I do still remember liking the pasta, but the steak not as much. This time I went back with my now ex-boyfriend in Uptown. We didn't get the steak because we found it too expensive. And most steak places in Manila are expensive because the meat is imported. So that's understandable. And coming from Australia, we do have really good meat here. So we skipped the steak because the way they serve it as well, it's going to end up well done because it's served on a hot plate. So it will just keep cooking and it's just filled with butter. So we didn't get the steak, so I can't really rate that for the second time. I got the pasta, which is it's quite creamy and buttery. So if you just have that, you'll get sick of the flavor quite quickly. I don't know, maybe this place is cursed. The first time I went there, wasn't in a good place. And now the second time I went there, started well, but that relationship ended anyway. But let's talk about number 8. Goto Monster. All the restaurants that I have been to or we've been to are from different price ranges. Yeah, so we are not comparing apples for apples here. In fact, Goto Monster has a really good success story. They started from a hole-in-the-wall residential kind of place, open 24 hours, cheap and cheerful. They have now added an extra store or a new store where they have still nearby, but it is a lot nicer in a nice establishment, but kept that quality intact. I do recommend going to the newer store. They are near each other and both open quite late or 24 hours if I am not mistaken. However, we did get lost trying to find the first place, but it all worked out in the end because the new place, as I said, is a lot nicer. It still doesn't have air conditioning, which makes it really challenging when you're having Goto in Manila's weather. But what is Goto for those of you who are not familiar with it? Goto is like congee, but it has a deeper flavor profile because it's usually made with some sort of animal broth, chicken and pork, I think. So it is quite flavorful. I also paired it with tofu. I love my tofu, fried, steamed, all kinds of different tofu. I love it. And it is quite traditional to eat goto or lugao, otherwise known as congee as well, Filipino style that is though, with tofu and some pork. But I just got it with tofu. Wow, amazing. And of course, gotta cool down with some shake. Got the cucumber this time to keep us cool. At number 7, we have Metiz. This is tough because Metiz, it was still in fact, all of the restaurants on my list are good. It's just a matter of which one was my favorite out of all of them, out of the 9 of them. I respect what Metiz is doing. It's creative and thought-provoking food. But with others on the list, I just have to put them at number 7. They're actually temporarily closed at the moment. So I don't know if this is an indication as to why. They are the cheapest fine dining that we tried in Manila in this trip. So we went in December 2024. It's a more relaxed vibe, but not quite relaxed as my number 2 restaurant that I'll talk about in a minute. And the one thing that put me off a little bit, But I think a lot of the restaurants in the Philippines do this regardless of how big they are or how high end they are. But they do, you can only book via WhatsApp. So you either call them or you text them, which I thought was a bit unprofessional. It's just not instant. I can imagine that having mistakes and it's just not a seamless process. So that kind of starts off the whole vibe.
At number 6, Mendokoro Ramenba. I love this place. I have been to this place so many times. Every time I come home to Manila, I always visit, and in the same location as well, because they have a few in the city. If you are a ramen lover like me, then you'll be into it. It's a counter style type of eating. If you're a big group and you want to hang out and catch up and chill, this is probably not the best place. I would say as a trio or even by yourself or as a couple, it is good. It's got a very deep broth, but not thick. It is quite on the expensive side when it comes to ramens in the Philippines, but I promise it is worth it. I do know some friends that weren't impressed, but majority of people were impressed by their ramen. It is also in a great location. This one that I went to is in Mitsukoshi Mall. It's a Japanese shopping center in the heart of BGC near the Uptown area, but they do have a few places in Manila. You just gotta remember that there is a queue, massive queue, not at all times. So the first time I went there, there was a massive queue, but the second time, which is on this trip, there wasn't any queue. We went for dinner, there were 3 of us, but you have to be complete before they seat you. And then the third time that I have been, which was in my most recent trip in March 2025, there wasn't any queue at all. I went in during a weekday lunch though. Number 5 is Nota in Shangri-La, the Fort. This spot was fun, colorful, eccentric, and it is a Brazilian-Japanese fusion. Fusion cuisines or restaurants sometimes could be a hit or miss, but this one was pretty good. I have heard mixed reviews of this place though. In general, people love it. It turns into a good bar night out destination at night. But as for the food, some people are just okay with it. No one's ever said that it's shit food. It's just really finding the value for money. But we didn't mind it. We were there for Christmas night and they were pretty busy considering it's Christmas Day when usually people stay at home, especially in the Philippines, and spend that time with family. But they were pretty busy but not packed, and they didn't have all the carnival dancers like you would normally have that night. They do have a restaurant in Paris as well, and I believe that was the original one. It is quite expensive, definitely on the expensive side given where the location is, and if you walk in you'll definitely feel that it's an expensive place. But we had a fair bit, and we also had some alcohol. In fact, by the time the mains arrived, I was so full that I didn't get to appreciate the main as much. It was still very nice, but I felt like I didn't give it enough justice because I was so full at that point. It was their chicken stuffed with some rice. Can you imagine how filling that was? But you gotta try it because it's one of the main things that people get in Nota. And I can't believe I'm ranking Manam as my number 4. If you have seen any of my videos or just go to my Instagram, it is no secret that I love Manam. And every time I go to the Philippines, I think maybe March was the only time that I didn't have it because I wanted to try something else. I have done so many videos of Manam. They do a modern take on Filipino food, but the way they serve it, they would have the classic way and the modern way. And I love, every time I talk about Manam, I love their serving sizes. They do a small, medium, and large. And as a solo traveler, or even when I am dining with friends or as a couple, we can try so many dishes because we can just get the small or a medium and it would just be enough for everyone. The sisig is good. The sinigang, the watermelon sinigang is amazing. I've tried to recreate that, but I just couldn't. And their crispy palabok, which is on the modern side, modern twist side, are the cult favorite and a personal favorite of mine as well. Oh, and get the ube sago, please. That's the drink. It comes in a tall glass, and usually when I'm out with my friends, we would order one but split it into 2, but then order another one anyway. So we're just kidding ourselves and lying to ourselves, but it was just so damn good. We're getting close to number 1, and number 3, Ember. Ember is an upscale but a relaxed restaurant. It is located in Greenbelt 3, which is an upscale shopping center, an upscale mall. So it is not cheap. not gonna lie, but it is definitely a bit more casual and has that relaxed vibe. The flavors were bold without being over the top, given that it's a casual dining experience. There's no white linen whatsoever. And everything is char grilled, which I love. Personally love char grilled food. And the serving was huge too, so you do get value for your money. Just look at the amount of bone marrow that was served for the two of us, but we still finished it. The chef slash owner, Josh Boutwood, I think is how you pronounce his last name. He has a few restaurants in the city, and Ember is one of them. It's probably the most accessible out of all of them. And this is where I learned about prosciutto served with melon. It is now a staple. Every time I get prosciutto, there has to be melon. Didn't realize that a fruit and a cured meat can go so well together. Inato, wow, my number 2. Inato could have easily been number 1. It is a very small place, very close to Metiz, so it's all in that same area at the edge of Makati, closer to the BGC side or Taguig side. It is also right next to Toyo Eatery, which was also one of my favorite restaurants in Manila. In fact, they consistently make it to the top 50 best restaurants in Asia. However, it is now so hard to get a reservation for Toyo, and the schedules just didn't align this time around for me or for us. It is the same owner, so the vibe and the flavors are quite similar, but this Inato is definitely on the casual style, more relaxed style, and it's counter dining as well. The approach and the whole service is very friendly, casual, very chatty, which worked for us because there were 9 of us in the group, and I think the whole place being counter can only accommodate up to 10, so it's like a big party. It's like a private dining, and we were the only customers that night. Kind of hard to talk if you're on the other end and you're trying to talk to friends on the other end though. However, it is still very fun experience. They just really make it into that's the thing, right? When you eat out and pay good money, it's also the experience that you are paying for. You definitely see their brand and their story and the character of that restaurant from the moment you walk in, the moment they say hello to you, the way they serve their food, the way they cook their food, where they cook their food. And Inato, just like Toyo Eatery, does it well. One of my favorite dishes from them is their take on Jollibee's burger steak. From a flavor profile, quality and all that, definitely Inato wins, but I think nostalgia wins in this instance, that there's still something about Jollibee burger steak. And for number 1, Hapag. Oh my God, Hapag. Hapag is in Rockwell. We kind of struggled finding it, but it's in a top of a building, but all the security guards are very helpful. Once you get through Rockwell, you can just ask around and they'll guide you to a place to get to a lift that will take you to the restaurant. This place, just look at this menu right here. This place does storytelling through food. They do beautiful plating, elevated Filipino flavors. The service is top notch, and even the drinks and the cocktails were good, and good value for money, that is, as well. You could taste the intention in every dish or every course that they served. And I keep hearing, yes, chef, in the kitchen. It just shows the culture of that restaurant in a way. It is not too formal, but definitely one on the formal side in comparison to Metiz and Inato that we've tried. Just look at how creative this menu is. You walk in and you'll be given this, just photos. You don't know what you're gonna get, but these are the clues. And then you would get the actual menu in the end, so you don't get distracted. I love that. You're just focused on the food that they are serving. And look at how long that is as well. So much food. They didn't shy away from the traditional Filipino food, but also finding that uniqueness on what Filipino food is outside of the national capital region, and went regional. And I thank them for that, because that was definitely mind-blowing. I smiled so much writing the script for this video and filming this as well, even if these are shared experiences with my now ex-partner. I would go back to these restaurants in a heartbeat and create new memories. Let me know if you have tried any of these restaurants in the comments below, or if you have any favorites in Manila that you think I should try next time I come home. If you like food and travel, make sure you like and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one where we will do some shopping in the Philippines, and I hope you like that too. Bye!